Humongous game for Scotland, that's right, as they take on Greece, of course, over in the World Cup qualifiers for 2026. Also in action are the Danes, that's right, as they build up to what could be an absolute meaty week over in Europe. Who's going to come out on top? We'll get into it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today it is match number 9, that's right, of course, for the Europa qualification That's right, folks, back once again with another video today. We're looking forward to match number 9 over in Europe, as of course the World Cup qualifiers rear their lovely little head. That's right. We are going to come at you with 3 videos over the next couple of days to take a look at those match number 9 matches, and then, of course, couple down the road there, we're going to see the final World Cup qualifiers over in Europe. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Match number 9 right here, right now, of course, and we'll get into all of that in a minute. Big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons, big shout out to you if you're new wherever you are. Smash your subscribe. I'm out and about right here, right now, but we'll be back into the old studio very soon. But let's get into it and remind ourselves of where we are at in the World Cup qualifiers for Europe. So let's hop on over to this. That's right, we're going to take a short, sharp look at it, and we're going to come at you right about now, of course. Remind ourselves of the tables. They look a little bit like this. Germany are back in control of Group A, but of course decisive couple of days, couple of matches for them, taking on Luxembourg, and I think they take on Slovakia here, where of course it could have come down to the wire. It could be a shootout between these two. Northern Ireland could still get the head in here, but we'll see about that. Switzerland looks set to go to the World Cup. Kosovo are next in line. Of course, remember, first place goes through to the World Cup, second place goes through a playoff, and then there's some other permutations as well. But let's keep going. Slovenia pretty much out of it. Sweden definitely out of it. So Sweden will not be up. Well, again, I say that slightly because there might be some permutations through the for the Nations League that may see some of these. There's a hope that, like, a San Marino or something can still qualify somehow, bizarrely. But anyway, Sweden, of course, in 4th place. Into Group C, though, is where it's all out at. It's Denmark, it's Scotland. Pretty much a straight shootout for that place in the World Cup, for the World Cup next year. I think they will lock horns, of course, in this next couple of matches here. Greece out of it right now for what I'm seeing. Let's hop on over to the next batch here. We've got Group D. France in charge. Ukraine not out of it just yet. Iceland realistically needs snookers if they're going to get into the top spot there. But again, remember, second place, you give yourself a better chance here. Spain are in command here, and of course very close to securing their spot. I think a point or more will do it in their next game or so. Turkey trying to cause a bit of an upset there. Georgia doesn't know if they're going to make it this time around. Portugal are in charge in Group F. Hungary in second. Ireland hoping to get into that second spot at least to give themselves some hope of qualifying for the World Cup. Into the latter groups here, these are 5 countries per group. Here we've got Netherlands in charge there. Poland, though, not out of it. And even there is a sliver of a hope potentially for Finland, or maybe not. Maybe Finland can squeak into that second place, but realistically it looks pretty much between Poland and Netherlands. In Group H, Austria are in charge. Bosnia are not out of it just yet. Romania may also cause a bit of an upset towards the back end. Another shootout here in Group I, Norway and Italy in command. Of course, Norway have the upper hand with that victory over Italy in the first time encounter, but again, they will meet very soon. Goal difference is very much in favour of Norway, so even if Italy do beat Norway, I think goal difference is going to put them in a bit of a pickle here, so they're going to be hoping for some upset in their other match. Moving forward, Belgium in charge in Group J, but they're not out of it yet. Wales and North Macedonia trying to squeak in there and upset the Belgians. Meanwhile, England are there. They secured their spot, 6 wins out of 6. Can Albania or Serbia guarantee that runners-up spot? And then Croatia in charge in Group L. Czechia are also closing in on them, but of course it is pretty tight at the moment. Alrighty then, folks, let's get into it then, shall we, as we look forward to match number 9 for these respective countries, of course. This is part 3 of a 3-set piece for match number 9. Of course, don't forget to come back for match number 10 as we wrap up these World Cup qualifiers. But we're going to kick it all off with a trip to Kazakhstan. Let's get into it as we go to Astana Arena. Kazakhstan, matched by Tergat Blulusonov, coming into on back-to-back unbeaten matches here up against the Belgians under Rudi Garcia, who are top of the pops over in Group J. 14 points for them, unbeaten in at least the last 6. They've taken on Kazakhstan 7 times, winning 5 of them, and there's been a couple of draws as well. Last time they played, of course, at Kazakhstan was a 2-2 win for Belgium way back in October 2019. They did also play in the reverse fixture for this campaign. It resulted in a 6-0 win for Belgium, who have won 5 on the spin against Kazakhstan. They're scoring, 11 goals in the last 3. The Belgians on the back of that 4-2 important win over the Welsh. That was back on the 13th of October. Kazakhstan with that away draw against North Macedonia. The bookies, though, will back Belgium. I will back Belgium. I've gone with a 3-0 win for Rudy Garcia's lads to edge closer, if not secure, their spot in the World Cup. Let's go to Turkey up against Bulgaria then. Let's come and show over in Group E. That's right, Turkey under Vincenzo Montella sitting second right now. 3 wins out of the last 4, just 4 wins out of the last 6. Taking on a Bulgarian side matched by Alexander Dimitrov, who have had a stinking campaign. 4 for the table, no points for them. They've taken on Turkey 4 times since 2005. 3 wins for Turkey, 1 win for Bulgaria. There's been no draws. They last played, of course, over in Turkey, resulting in a 4-0 win for Turkey way back in June 2015. It was a friendly. Of course, the reverse fixture in this campaign resulted in a 5-1, 6-1 win for the Turkish back in October 2015. Turkey on the back of that 4-1 win over Georgia. We got Bulgaria losing to Spain last time. They've conceded 10, 13 goals in the last 3. It's grim stuff for Bulgaria right now. The bookies also back in Turkey. Of course, I'm going to go Turkey. 3-1 winners as well on this one. Let's kick it on forward then to Georgia as they take on Spain in Georgia. That's right, coming at you the Boris Pachazi Dinamo Arena. Georgia under Willie Sagnol right now sitting third in Group E, just 1 win in the last 5 up against the Spanish under Luis de la Fuente, who are top with 12 points. They've won 4 in the bounce right here, right now. Taking on Georgia 9 times since 2012, 8 wins for the Spanish, 1 win for Georgia. There's been no draws. They last played, of course, reverse fixture, 2-0 winners it was in Spain way back in October 2025. The Spanish are on the back of a 4-0 win over Bulgaria. They've scored 6 goals in the last 2 games combined. They've scored 12 goals in the last 3 combined. They haven't conceded a goal in the last 4 of the Spanish. As for Georgia, on the back of that 4-1 heavy defeat for Turkey, still ringing in the rears. Of course, the bookies though will back Georgia. They'll back Spain. I'm going to back Spain. We're going to go 2-1 win, tight one. But of course, maybe a game on it. But of course, Georgia's hopes are already lost anyway in regards to qualifiers. Let's go to Cyprus then as they take on Austria, coming at you over the Almanga Arena. That's right, Apostos Nanzanos, the coach there for Cyprus, who are unbeaten in the last 3, but just 1 win in the last 6. Taking on Austria under Ralf Rangnic, coming into this over in Group H, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Top of the pops there with 15 points. And have played Cyprus 4 times since 1998. They've won 3 of them, they've lost 1 of them, and there's been no draws. They last played, of course, the reverse fixture in Austria was a 1-0 win for the Austrians way back in September 2025. They last played in Cyprus, resulting in a penalty shootout win for the Cypriots back in Feb 2005. Cyprus are on the back of a 4-0 win over San Marino. Austria did lose to Romania last round in Romania, which of course caused a bit of a ruckus, of course. But the bookies will back Austria, of course, over in Cyprus. This could be a tight game, tighter than you would imagine. Gone 2-0 win for Austria, though, to still take all 3 points. Let's go to Liechtenstein, and of course, taking on a Welsh side. And pretty much out of it, I think. Rhine Park Stadion. It is Konrad Fuchstuk is the coach there for Liechtenstein. They've won. They haven't won in the last 11 matches. Up against the Welsh under Craig Bellamy, just 1 win in the last 5. It's turned all a bit sour for Craig Bellamy at the moment, taking on some real heavy-duty opponents. They've played Liechtenstein 4 times in 2006. They won 4 of them, of course, which is all of them, and have yet to taste defeat against them. They did play each other in the reverse fixture. It was a 3-0 win for Wales way back in June 2025. They haven't conceded a goal against them either. They did lose, though, against Belgium most recently, and a couple of other friendlies as well, including losses to Canada. But 3 defeats on the spin for the Welsh up against the Liechtenstein. 6 defeats on the bounce here. Not looking good for them. Of course, the bookies will back Wales. I'm going to back them as well. 4-0 win. Again, could be more than that as well. Let's go to Slovenia then, shall we? As they are locking horns with Kosovo in an Eastern Europe affair. That's right. Coming into the Stolski Stadium. Slovenia and Matthias Kečis, the coach there. They sit third right now with 3 points. Winners in the last 4, though, up over in Group B. Taking on a Kosovo side under Franco Voda. They sit second with 7 points. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They played each other 3 times since 2020. 2 wins for Slovenia. Nothing for Kosovo. There's been 1 draw. The reverse fixture in Kosovo did end up all square. They last time played in Slovenia. Just the 1 goal between them. 2-1 winners it was for Slovenia back in November 2020. Slovenia on the back of 2 successive 0-0s, and they haven't scored a goal in the last 3 up against a Kosovo side on the back of that 1-0 win over Sweden. They've also got 3 clean sheets on the spin. The bookies will go with Slovenia, but this one's tight. I'm leaning towards Slovenia, but it could go the other way. If it does go the other way, goodness gracious, well, who knows what's going to happen in that final round of games. Let's go to Switzerland, taking on Sweden. That's right. It's now Gary Potter's Sweden, coming out of the Stadio de Genève. Switzerland and Murat Yakan looking good right now. Top of the pops over in Group B. They're unbeaten at least for the last 6, winning 5 of that last 6. Up against the Swedes under Graham Potter these days. No John Dahl Thompson, no more. Winless in the last 4. And of course, course, their World Cup dreams is all but over, I believe. They played each other 6 times since 1986, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. They last played, of course, over at Sweden. It was a 2-0 win for the Swiss back in October 2025. The last time they played on this turf, 4-2 winners it was for Switzerland way back in October 1994. The Swiss are on the back of a 0-0 draw against Slovenia. They haven't conceded a goal in at least the last 5. Up against the Swedes on the back of a 1-0 loss to Kosovo. Back-to-back losses there. They haven't scored a goal in the last 3. So pretty grim stuff for the Swedes on this one. The bookies will back Swiss. I think I'm going to be deluded on this one. I've gone with a 1-1 draw here, which of course gives Potter an unbeaten start to it, but still a massive mountain for the Swedes moving forward. Let's go to Denmark then as they take on Belarus. That's coming at you at the Parken Stadion. Brian Riemer is the coach there, top of the tops, unbeaten the last 6, winning 5 of the last 6, taking on Belarus and the Carlos Alios, who've lost 5 on the spin right now over in Group C. They played each other 3 times since 1998, 2 wins for Denmark, nothing for Belarus. There's been 1 draw. They last played in Belarus, resulting in a 6-0 win for Denmark way back in October 2025. The Danes are on the back of that 3-1 win over Greece. Belarus did lose to Scotland in Scotland last time around, and the bookies will back the Danes. I will back the Danes. 2-1 win, another tight one. Maybe more than that. Maybe it's a bit of a joke score. There's probably going to be 3 or 4-1. I would imagine. Don't know why I put 2, but it's in. It's in black and white. We go with it. Then we go to Greece up against Scotland, and it is a testy old game here at the Krakenakis Stadium. Even John Ovinic is the coach there for Greece. 3 defeats on the spin up against the Scots under Steve Clarke, unbeaten the last 5. They do sit second in the group at the moment as Group C. They played Greece 5 times since 1994, winning 3 of them, losing 2 of them. But they did play in Scotland back in October, resulting in a 3-1 win for the Scots. The last time they played in Greece, also resulting in a win for Scotland way back in March 2025, but sandwiched in between that was a win for Greece in Scotland. The Greeks are on the back of successive away defeats. The last home match was also a home loss to Denmark. As for the Scots, back-to-back home wins, 3 wins on the spin, of course. Bookies will back Greece on this one. I've got to go with my heart here. I think Scotland got to get something on with a draw. I'm hoping more than that, because ultimately I think that puts Denmark on the brink of qualification. And then we finally wrap it all up here over in Europe, of course, on these matches. Match number 9, Bosnia against Romania, coming at the Bilingo Bochi. Sergi Barberes is the coach there for Bosnia. They have won 3 of the last 6 there. Up against Romania and America Lucescu, they've just lost once in the last 5. They sit third with 10 points, compared to Bosnia with second in 13 points. They played 7 times in 2002, 3 wins for Bosnia, 4 wins for Romania. There's been no draws. They last played, of course, over at Bosnia. It was a 1-0 win for Bosnia back in June 2022. The reverse fixture in this campaign also resulting in a 1-0 win for Bosnia in Romania back in March. Romania are on the back of that 1-0 win over Austria, back-to-back wins. The last away match was a 2-2 draw at Cyprus. Bosnia on the back of that 4-1 away win to Malta. Their last home match was a loss to Austria. Excuse me. Bookies cannot decide here. They slightly give favour to Romania. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Bosnia here. Unfortunately, that's how I see it panning out. But that is it, guys, for match number 9. We'll be back for match number 10, and when I'm back, I should be back in the studio there. So hopefully, we'll look forward to see who will secure their fate and make it to the World Cup. But that's it, guys. Until then, subscribe, smash the like. I'll see you soon when we return, whenever that is. I'm done.